Hi, everybody. Nothing quite like ending a half on a high note. Cleveland Browns losing 6-3, which you know what will happen. They'll come out in the second half and they'll immediately give up like 2 touchdowns, and then Kaiser will throw 3 more interceptions and they'll lose 24-3. At any rate, I hate to spoil the endings for people, but I'm one of those guys who's seen a movie before and I ruin the end of the movie for everybody. Welcome to the Moohead Radio Cleveland Browns halftime report. And boy, what an exciting game in the snow in Chicago, city of broad shoulders. Wow. You know what this game is? It's the Browns front office indictment game. That's it. You know, we've got all these ridiculous names like the Massengale douche, you know, peppermint up the pussy bowl, you know. This is the Cleveland Browns front office indictment bowl. They wanted both of these quarterbacks. It's like, wow, those were the guys on top of your board? Mitch, I can't sense where the blitz is coming from, even against Greg Williams' defense, Trubisky. And Deshaun, wow, I get to throw a long one, Kaiser. And you know what's most amazing about this to me? And there's a lot of amazing things to me. But the most amazing thing is it doesn't matter how well the run and the short pass does for you. Hugh Jackson is too smart for the room, right? You know something? It's like, I got to throw in the long one. You know, it's like, and then I'm going to bitch about the fact that Kaiser can't throw it. Yeah. Who called the play? Look, Hugh Jackson is not going to be the head coach next year. And if he is, just shut it all down. Just shut the organization down. And Deshaun Kaiser is not going to be the quarterback next year. And if he is, shut the whole thing down. Because let's be honest about this. Kaiser, whether he's spiking the ball into the ground, whether he's throwing dirigibles up in the air, or whether he is throwing the ball not even in the immediate zip code of the wide receiver, gives this team no chance to win. He would go 0-16 next year. No chance to win. And I know that the Bears have no respect for the wide receivers. I know what wide receivers, but it doesn't matter even if they break open on a play. He cannot put the ball where it needs to be put. The fact that Ricardo Lewis caught a ball at the end of the first half, I almost passed out because usually he bats that one down. But, you know, again, remember, the Bears are 4-10 for a reason, folks. They're not very good either. But to think that the Browns organization wanted both of these quarterbacks high up on their gotta-have list, it's amazing. Let's go to the comments in the chat room. Kaiser dilly-dilly. That's right. Erlanger Veritas, Kaiser's lucky he didn't have 3 picks in the first half. Let's send Kaiser to the pit of misery. I'm out of alcohol. Just stop, dude says. That is frightening territory for me. I know to face this sober is tough. Imagine how it is for Josh Gordon. Dark Sealer 1995. Kaiser's like watching all the Browns quarterbacks ever and one bad, god-awful quarterback. It's like, you know, hit Christmas time. It's like somebody packaged all of the worst elements and put it under your Christmas tree. Isn't it terrible? Ron Shane, we have a chance to win. Just leave Kaiser and the coaches in the locker room. Isn't that the truth? You know, the fact that the blitz is working this week will tell you not that the blitz scheme's better, but that Trubisky has no idea what he's doing back there. Just stop, dude. Move the team, demolish the stadium, salt the fucking earth. Boy, that's going a little bit overboard. Especially the salt the fucking earth bit. That's kind of time-consuming and labor-intensive. Dark Silver 1995, Kaiser is more inaccurate than a baby trying to piss in the toilet. No, he's actually pissed the entire Browns organization into the toilet. So actually, he's pretty damn accurate. Boy, I wish I could tell you something good about this. I mean, General Dog said, I kept hoping for Trubisky to throw 5 touchdowns and 400 yards. It's not going to happen. Both these quarterbacks are terrible. We keep saying there's no way that Haslam can keep Huey Jackson, but Huey will be there, I'm afraid. And be very, very afraid of that. You don't throw the ball to Duke Johnson, who might be one-on-one in the snow with a linebacker. No, you have to go for the long ball. When you've moved the ball down the whole field, you have to suddenly become impatient. Isn't that the definition of the 0-16 Cleveland Browns? Is that whenever they see a little ray of light, they panic and they find a way to fuck it up? That seems to be the case. My experience watching the Cleveland Browns is that it all stems from an inept owner, but the head coach is vastly responsible for the panic-stricken notions that the players and the behavior of the players. It's obvious to me. And hopefully it will be obvious to somebody in the Browns organization. But can we even say that Kaiser is that bad? His head coach goes out of their way to call plays against his ability and skill set, but any play you call is against his ability and skill set. You tried the option pitch, that was beyond his ability and skill set. The short pass is inaccurate, and he throws the ball into the ground or into the hands of the other team. The intermediate pass is non-existent. The long ball is 10 yards off. Anything in the red zone is picked off. Sorry, there isn't a play that you can call for this asshole that he can actually perform. They should save us all some trouble, Erlanger says, and just punt on first down. I would agree with that, except that would just give the other team more opportunity and time to score more points, so that really wouldn't do us any good. Moo, how long have you been a Browns fan, and how do you put up with it? All right. My first exposure to the Browns was Jim Brown's last year with the Cleveland Browns, and 65-66, and that's when I was a very young kid. I was about 9 years old. And been a Browns fan ever since. And how do I put up with it? Because I have a sense of humor. And because as you get older, you realize that the majority of your life has already happened. And you start realizing that your time on earth is becoming a little bit less. And so these things become less important. That's how you put up with it. The Browns are like a virgin, too scared to have sex with the hot girl because they've never experienced success. It's kind of a mixed metaphor. Let's go with this one. The Browns are like a virgin, too scared to have sex with a hot girl. A virgin is too scared to have sex with any girl. So forget the hot girl, any girl, because they have never experienced success. Well, I'm assuming that virgins jerk off, and so they've experienced some success. Now, if the virgin has jerked off and not had success, then I would say they would be Deshaun Kaiser. If Dilfer can have a Super Bowl ring, then Kaiser could be coached to 500. I would change it. If Dilfer can have a Super Bowl ring, then one of the ball kids could steal it in China. Just stop, dude. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying that Huey would fuck up running the Steelers. Yeah, I can't disagree with you there. C Ranks is in the chat room over on YouTube. This guy leads the NFL in interceptions. He's the worst quarterback of all quarterbacks created. And that's something really to give Christ credit for the day before his birthday, that he could create something so perfect. Erlanger Veritas, Huey Jackson jerked off on the sideline last week. It's absolutely true. He masturbated. Now, it's fun. It's fun because he hasn't looked for the challenge flag yet this time, but he's got so many layers on, he couldn't find his dick, let alone the challenge flag. Just give them to a Pee-wee league. Well, that's interesting, but the Pee-wee league really is looking for good franchises. Juggalo 1, the Browns are like a virgin never going to lay a hot girl because they are ugly, weigh 400 pounds, and have no game. Well, I'm not very attractive. I don't weigh 400 pounds, but at one time I was fairly close to that. But I'm not a virgin. So I can't relate to that specifically, but that's the second virgin reference that we've had with the Browns. I don't know. I think teams are fucking them every week. I don't think they're virginal. I think that if anything, they've taken more loads than a dump truck. Dark Sailor 1995, the Browns will win when Huey gets some hair on his head. He would mess Big Ben up with this shit play calling. I'm not going to say anything about Big Ben. Rosen is smart to stay away from this team. He's not going to have much of a choice. Vince McMahon is bringing the XFL back. Maybe the Browns can re-sign Manziel and play in that league. Only Vince McMahon is brain damaged enough and addled from the use of steroids to think that the XFL has any place. He's probably cozying up to Donald Trump as we speak right now because of Trump's quest against the NFL. Maybe they can bring Papa John Schnatter in to help sponsor the new XFL. I don't know. It hurts me. All right. What do the Browns have to do in the second half? For one thing, they're going to have to play defense because the only way the Browns win is if they score a touchdown and give up no touchdowns. That's the only way they're going to win, and you know how likely that is. And the Browns' defense will start giving up big chunks of yardage on the ground, Mr. Moohead's prediction, and they just won't win. So don't get your hopes up. Kaiser, Wabel says, is like the hoe you see on a Saturday night when she's drunk. She looks good, but she's not. The problem is the Browns don't even pass the eye test, not even through beer goggles. I mean, and that's what some of the people are complaining about. They've run out of alcohol because the only way you could think that the Browns were a professional football team is through beer goggles. Kaiser is brain dead. I don't know. He'd be a very good character in The Wizard of Oz. And he could play multiple roles in The Wizard of Oz, especially Dorothy. Now, the Browns have to continue running the football. And I know that obviously Crowell is waiting for Huey to stop giving him the ball. But, you know, the two chances that the Browns have is to run Gordon into double coverage as a decoy and to try to get Duke Johnson one-on-one with a linebacker. That would be the first thing. And Njoku, try to get him one-on-one with a linebacker. These are the opportunities because they're all over Gordon like stink on shit. There's no way. One more comment. Just stop, dude. I would not be surprised if the Browns put a Chargers Eli situation, only fuck it up even worse. What's a Chargers Eli situation? I don't even know what the hell that is. So at any rate, I'm going to go and enjoy the second half. Run the ball. That's right. And even that's right, Ron Shane. You know, it's like Kaiser may fumble the ball when he runs it because he finds a way to fuck anything up, including a wet dream. But yeah, let him roll out and run the football when he has nobody to throw to, which is basically every time. But I agree. You've got to figure out ways to open up the game. And if that means you got to run an occasional reverse end around, whatever it takes to try to get the ball down the field. The problem is you're going to end up in the red zone and the ball's going to be in Kaiser's hand. And that's very scary shit. Oh, the Chargers drafted Eli Manning and he refused to sign with them. Well, you couldn't really blame him then, and you can't really blame anyone for not wanting to come to Cleveland. But, you know, once Huey's gone, I think that will help the organization tremendously. At any rate, that's it. I'm done with this halftime show, but I will be back after the game, post-game Browns talk, where we put all of these loose ends together into one comprehensive whole. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the halftime show. As I see the audiences are declining as people are spending time with their families and not with this sack of shit football team. But I'm riding it out, man. The big 0-16 wave. I want to bathe in the lake that Hui ends up drowning in. Until after the game. Hasta la vista, Pastor Heads. I'll see you in a few. Bye-bye.